Hello, hello. Just want to do a quick book review. Strength Finder 2.0. Very cool book. I thought this was extremely valuable, especially when in the areas for people that are like entrepreneurs, managers, salespeople, even if you're just a social person, you know, kind of like interacting with lots of different people. This is a great insights book to how people function, right? The first little section, it's only like, let's see, I'll tell you, like 30 pages of kind of data, some good information about, you know, why you should find your strengths and build on your strengths. Some really good stuff. And then the majority of the book, this whole section is, characteristic based. So it goes with each strength that a person has, and it tells you. So the first one is achiever, right? And it tells you what the characteristics of an achiever are, how they act, what things they like, and then it gives 3 real life examples of people in their jobs. Then it gives ideas for action for that person. So if you are an achiever, and then at the end, 3 bullet points for working with those who are an achiever, and it goes through, you know, just a whole bunch of different personality types and strengths that you might have or people you might be working with. So for managers and business people, this is awesome stuff right here, because you can understand what makes them tick, right? Get an idea of, you know, if you've got someone that's a maximizer, they don't like to talk about their weaknesses much. They want to build on strengths. They want to find something that's going right and make it better than right? They want to make it excellent. And you know, anyway, there's a whole bunch of them, really cool, but not a whole lot of philosophy in this book, but there's some good data I want to tell you about real quick. He says, let's see, what's more, we had discovered that people have several times more potential for growth when they invest energy in developing their strengths instead of correcting their deficiencies. Very interesting. Here's a couple more things. So he's talking about people who, let's see, in stark contrast, our studies indicate that people who do have the opportunity to focus on their strengths every day are 6 times as likely to be engaged in their jobs and more than 3 times as likely to report having an excellent quality of life in general. So he's talking about people who go to work and don't feel like they're able to focus on their strengths at work versus those who do. And there's a little chart in here, which is really cool. I'm going to try and show you. You might want to pause the video and take a look at that. It says on the left-hand side, if your manager primarily does these 3 things, and on the right side it says the chances of you're being actively disengaged at work. So if your manager ignores you, 40% chance that you'll be actively disengaged. If your manager focuses on your weaknesses, 22% chance that you'll be actively disengaged. If your manager focuses on your strengths, there's only a 1% chance you'll be actively disengaged. So for you managers, remember that. Find out what your people like, what personality types they are. Build on their strengths, focus on their strengths, help them engage in their strengths, give them tasks that are catered to them. Not only will you be more successful as a manager, but your whole company is just going to explode, and the morale of the company will change dramatically. I love this. I've heard like Ty Lopez and Jim Rohn and many others talk about this. These new strengths insight describe what makes you stand out when compared to the millions of people we've studied. So it's all about standing out, right? Like, we can all do certain things mediocre. But what do you do that you're in like the top 5% in the world, right? 7 or 8 billion people in the world. What are you in that top 5% of? How can you become known for that and excel in that and be the go-to person for that, right? So this helps you find out what are those things among the millions of people. So they've been doing these studies for like 70 years. And using these tests to find out. So they've literally studied millions of people. And so when you take this, you'll find out kind of where you rank among those people. It's not like a ranking, but it tells you, you know, with all these characteristics from millions of people, you lean towards these things. So, the key to human development is building on who you already are, right? You don't want to try and change who you are. You want to build on who you are. Most people think they know what they're good at. They're usually wrong, and yet a person can perform only from strengths. That's from Peter Drucker. But that's a principle that I harp on over and over and over, and especially in my STEPS program. You know, it's like that is the key to it. You got to know who you are. Like, if you don't know who you are and where your strengths are and why you have certain habits and how to break those down or build them up, you're not going far. It's huge. And there's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, no, not that. Oh, well. I'll leave it out. But this is a valuable book right here. It's pretty short. If you're a fast reader, you could read that in 1 or 2 sittings, no problem. Very, very, very valuable. I highly recommend this book. It was fun for me to sit there and read through not only my own things, right, and get ideas of like, okay, these are my 5 strengths, and how can I apply them? What types of things should I get into? So, just so happens that I enjoy my job, and my job is a perfect fit for the specific 5 that I ranked in, because it's very diverse. I have a lot of social interaction, but I also have a lot of personal freedom, so I can kind of structure my own days. I have big things to manage. I'm to some degree one of the main faces or relationships between a hospital system and my company. So there's some kind of big responsibility, but I'm not alone in it, right? I've got some good help and a lot of other people to show up with me if I need help. But for the most part, the day-to-day, it's just me. I've got some things that are very routine, and then I've got other things that I'm like, it's all just discovery. I've got to go find opportunities, find doctors and clinic groups and therapists and all these things that just sort of apply. I've just got to find them and get in with them and make friends and stuff. And so being able to quickly identify what makes people tick is a huge part of being a successful, liaison or marketer or, salesperson. So very good book. I recommend it. Go over to the website, check out the article on our blog. So go to bronsonwilks.com, go to the books tab, and you can find this book and read my summary there. You can also buy it from Amazon. I'll put a link below here, so you could go directly purchase it from there. If you get a new one, this is one thing to remember. So there's a code in the back. It comes in the little red slip, but you have to cut it off and use it. You only get that code to take the test that's associated with this book if you buy a new copy. So don't be, it's a valuable book without taking the test, but if you want it for yourself, you've got to take the test. So just be aware of that. But thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.